thanks so much for coming over. So I've got to ask you, what is it like to star alongside Kate as her much suffering daughter?
It has just been wonderful. I don't know if I should say this, but I remember once where I'd kind of overindulged when I was like 15 and was very unwell the next day, and we just watched all of Underworld, and I just fell in love with her. I was like, this is the coolest woman ever. And then I thought she was that she was British as well, because I'd never seen a British superhero, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's awesome. And she's just so clever. I think it was just watching the way that she used the words, and also just how effortlessly she did it, was really inspiring to watch. And yeah, it was great. It all seems so easy with her because she's just wonderful.
And it's such a funny film. Was there any times that it was actually quite hard to maintain the dialogue because you were cracking up?
Being on a screen with Tom Bennett is almost impossible to keep a straight face. There was one particular one where I'm just coming out. It's at the beginning of the film when we're just coming out of a big house going down the stairs, and his funny run coming out, but I was going first, so I'd get into the trailer and be like, oh my gosh, I can laugh at his funny run, because he's a comic genius. I'm so glad that everyone's seeing it, because he is just a gem.
And was a lot of his stuff improvised whilst on set then? Did he surprise you with what he was doing?
A bit. The wit was very just open for us to try lots of things. He wasn't at all rigid about the script, which was really lovely. And so I think every character made the script slightly their own, but with Wit's guidance, yeah. So I play the character of Frederica, and she's a very quiet, sweet, introverted girl who is thrown into situations that she is not ready for. So she's 16 years old, and she's at a horrible boarding school, and knows she's going to be married to this man that she doesn't love, and she runs away to try and make it better, but in the end ends up being in the same house as this man she's meant to be married to. It's a story about a mother and a daughter, really, though, who have no control over their lives. They have no money, and the only way that they can get it is by getting married to someone. And Lady Susan isn't necessarily the kindest character and doesn't necessarily do it in the best way, but ultimately she doesn't want her daughter to be impoverished. So yeah, I think that's the gist. Kate was absolutely lovely on set, and just the whole gang, all together, everyone was just so clever, so funny, so witty, and just so up for enjoying themselves. So for me, being around all these actors I'd admired for years and just listening to them chat was just wonderful. What I really love about Love and Friendship is that we have a woman who doesn't behave particularly well, and she doesn't get punished for it, because I think we're so used to watching films where if a woman just deviates slightly from being super virtuous, she goes up in flames, and I think that's what's really interesting about it. She doesn't get her comeuppance. She succeeds, she does it, so that's what's different, I think. Well, I think we're so used to seeing women who, not even women who behave badly, but women who don't behave in a saintly way, getting their comeuppance. And I really like that she doesn't. She goes and gets exactly what she wants. She's married, and then she has a cake and eats it. And then that Frederica's also happy at the end. What do you mean? I think it's just really exciting watching, no matter what the characters' aims are, whether they're good or bad, I think watching the characters do things with absolute conviction is always fascinating to watch, and that's what Lady Susan does. And I think, as someone who tries to live a good life, it's quite fun to watch it. It was wonderful to work with James Fleet. Is he right there? You can tell me. Just growing up, Falling to the Funeral was one of my favourite films, and he just had such high expectations of him, and he just went way over them. He's just so wonderful and funny, and also just also Gemma, they've got such a huge body of work behind them, so to work with them was really, really great as someone just starting out, but also they were so warm and lovely. So the excitement about Stephen Fry being in for a day was huge, and so I think it had to have a name, because everyone was just oh my god, it's coming. But yeah, I wasn't part of it. I was in Dublin, but I was not there.